Dog culture is a lot like communism. It redistributes everybody's wealth for the sake of dog ownership. Something about communists, look at this one right here: inefficient enterprises. Dog ownership itself is an inefficient enterprise. It has to constantly be government subsidized. The dogs themselves can never really produce like a gross national product. They can never innovate. Everything about dog culture gets worse every year. The pure breeds that need more and more surgery, the brachycephalic dogs that are sicker and sicker and have more mental problems, the death count from dogs goes up. So dog ownership itself is a very inefficient enterprise right here. But it's an enterprise that is subsidized and promoted by government. And that's a communist thing. That's not a capitalist thing. Let's look at a few more facts about this. So, dog ownership, a lot of government assistance is lined up to give you this for free. You see all these places that are in purple? These are 501c3 tax shelter organizations, nonprofit, not for profit. But whatever they spend, whatever they give to a foolish dog owner that can't afford to have a dog, but they want to look like they can afford to have a dog, they go to one of these outfits right here that I'm scrolling along, and they can get free money. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. But all the money that these corporations hand out, it gets written off on their taxes. So it's at the end of the day, this is just a burden on the entire country. It's a redistribution of wealth. Let's go look at another example. Like spay and neutering. There's a lot of free spay and neutering places. And within the ownership of dogs within that culture, it's one of the most asked questions. Where can I go to get my free spay and neuter? And a lot of people give out free spay and neuter. But it's another tax write off. And people that donate to these places that you're looking at right here, they write that money off on their taxes. So they're redistributing everyone else's wealth for the sake of the dog ownership. Let's go to another example. So, pet food. A lot of these food banks that are for dogs, they have these all over the place. Some of them they put up in neighborhoods, and people put in their, they even put in canned foods in some of these types of places. But, as you can see right here, these are also 501c3. The Best Friends Network, this place right here, they're a big promoter of pit bulls. Pit bulls that kill your grandmother, your sons and daughters. So again, this is just another way that dog culture redistributes everybody's funds and makes everybody pay for this ridiculous, inefficient hobby of dog ownership. Another example of this is dog fostering. This dog fostering is often the source of hoarding because people start to foster dogs and they start to get a bunch of expenses reimbursed, but that doesn't last forever. But then they have several dogs that now they can't afford. So you see these cases all the time: 48 dogs in the basement, 22 dogs in somebody's backyard or something. And then they have terrible living conditions for the dogs and the people, but it's all on the taxpayer dime. And then those dogs end up getting relocated again with one of these right here, tax shelter organizations. So it's just like a sick cycle that is on repeat. Did you know that even the Supreme Court has ruled that expenses on animals can be tax deductions? It's all very indirect, but all it takes is some clever tax people, and a person can claim pet expenses, or an organization can claim these expenses, such as like low income housing and other stuff like that. There's so much to read about this, but the Supreme Court allows this to happen. the Supreme Court, the IRS. There are lots of publications that provide dog owners with all types of resources, and they even coach them on the training and the language that you need to use. It's for training, it's for, the health care of my dog, it's for whatever. But it's the taxpayer burden at the end of the day. And it's bad enough that police have to constantly go take care of dogs, firefighters, everything that's delivered to a dog owner's house, even a dog owner that's on full federal assistance. They're using the streets that you pay taxes for. They're using the fuel that you pay a fuel tax for when you fill up your car. So there are billions and billions of examples like this. But dog ownership is like a redistribution of wealth. Dog owners can't afford dogs, so the dog culture just takes government money and gives it to them so they can continue to own dogs. And at the end of the day, it's not even healthy for the dogs or healthy for the humans. So that has been a look at how dog ownership is a lot like a communist country, and it's a big tax burden on the whole country.